I don't know what it is about the yak skulls. Like, that's a cow. That's big. And that's a cow. And these two cows died several years before that yak did. If you leave them outside, they hold up, but the yak disintegrates. Like, look at that horn and the jaw and everything. And it's not the only one. This yak's actually in the best condition out of about 3 yaks that I've left sitting. One of which I'm going to put, I think, on the front fairing of my motorcycle, but it hasn't happened yet because I've got to get it to a point where I don't think it'll just fall apart. Anyway, it's weird. I feel like the yaks could be doing better, but they just fall apart. I don't know why. Okay, so this is what I have worked out for this project. This is the other yak skull that I have been working with and getting it secure. There's, Gorilla Glue kind of holding it together, and there's Gorilla Glue helping hold these on too. I'm not, sponsored by Gorilla Glue, but I would be open to considering any offers that they want to make me at this point. Anyway, let's see how if I can get this mounted. A quick and somewhat pedantic lesson about how skulls and horns work. These little horn, this is just the bone part of the horn, and then there's an outer sort of casing that goes on that, which is the horn you think about when you say like a horn, like a drinking horn or a powder horn. It's that. What exists in between there is a network of blood vessels and so forth, which is, if you think about antlers on deer, it's the same as like the velvet on the antlers. And what that does for the animal is it's part of a cooling system, and it helps the, the blood flows through that, and then the air cools the horn, and it helps cool the animal. So I do have the horns that go to this skull, but I use them on a Krampus mask. But they make the mask a little uncomfortably heavy, and I'm thinking about reworking that mask, so I might put them back on here. But we're going to see how it goes with this for now. Anyway, all right, enough of that. So regarding my fairing, this fits pretty slick, right? Like, I think I'm going to use that screw. That's my plan, but I haven't tried it yet. To see if I can get this on there. Wish me luck. Okay, so that did work pretty well. It just tucks under there, the screw goes through it. I dropped that screw and took a minute to find it, but I found it, and then down here on the sides, it just ties to the bracket for the lights, so I can take it back off pretty easily, if anything. Any reason I should. I like the way it fits. I like the way it looks. It is a little bit, it can move. And ideally, I would like it to be tighter on there, but without putting holes in my fairing, I'm not sure how to accomplish that. So we are going to see how it does as it is. And it might vibrate around and fall apart, but it's not the most important skull I have in my life. So, I don't know. But that's that. I used to have a truck that had a cow skull on the front, and I really enjoyed that. And I've been thinking the whole time that I've had this bike of something to do with the fairing, and I was going to paint it, or I was going to do more of like the leather stuff on it, which this has the leather. See how it all matches? I think we'll try this for a little while. Okay, so new plan. I don't know. It wasn't really going to work. I talked to my partner, and she had some suggestions, so she's always worth listening to. And if you're going to do something, do it. So here we go. A piece of leather that I've cut that roughly almost exactly matches the shape of the hole. So my plan is, if you look close, there's some holes in this that I've punched. Those correspond to some holes that I drilled on the back side of that skull. So I'm going to affix by a fix, I mean zip tie the skull down to this piece of leather, and then I'm going to glue this piece of leather down to the fairing, and that's how we're going to do it. And I think having that, you know, it matches the rest of the leather that I did on this bike, and it's, you know, I didn't want to use a whole lot of leather, but really, you know, what are you going to do? So here we go. Okay, so the horns on this mask, man, I over-engineered the crap out of them. This is the one I got loose. There was a piece of wood that was cut to fit in here. It's been a few years since I did it, so I don't actually remember how I did it, but I now know. And it was epoxied in, and then there were nails coming through the sides of the horn to hold it in place. And then there were 4 screws that came up from underneath of here, and I didn't have washers, so apparently what I did in the absence of washers was found some pennies. These were a beast to get off, and then all of that, and that horn does not go to that skull. It's close. I'm going to make it work, because that means that the horn that does go to this skull is on a different mask that I have no intention of taking apart. This has definitely become a process. All right, so if you look back here somewhere, there's little holes. One's there, and there's a couple here. One of them's kind of blocked. It's over here, but I'll have to open it back up. Anyway, those are the holes I was talking about.
Take out the papers and the trash. Are you looking to spend the cash? If you don't stop at the floor, you ain't gonna rock and roll no more. Yakety yak.
Don't talk back.
Just finish cleaning up your room. Let's see that dust out with that broom. Get all that garbage out of sight. Or you don't go out on Friday night. Yakety yak.
Don't talk back.
You just put on your coat and hat and walk yourself to the laundromat. And when you're finished doing that, bring in the dog and put out the cat. Yakety yak.
I think it's pretty cool. It's much better this second incarnation with the full piece of leather and the horns on it. I like it. Thanks for watching.